Mediterranean, more like Ameriterranean, am I right? Hello everyone, welcome back to Alakai, one of the mods of all time for EU4. One of the most criminally under-recommended mods in my opinion, but you'll have to decide that for yourself once we get into one of the best parts this mod has to offer. It certainly is a little bit weird, that's for sure. I don't really need to explain why, I mean, just look at it. And from what I can tell, there really isn't like actual lore here. Like, why is Indonesia in the middle of Brazil? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. As far as I know, simply a thing happened, and people got sent back to the Stone Age, and then time passed. That's kind of it. So a lot of modern symbology kind of still exists. That's why you'll see like modern things like Ohio, a place that exists right now, much to the dismay of internet memes. That part was actually cringe. Leave out the last part. Just keep a place that exists right now. I think I'm supposed to assume that most of the human population was moved into the Americas, and the rest kind of like didn't. Even the existence of actual religions, like Catholicism, obviously a lot of the ideas are kind of kept the same. Now, speaking of religion, we do have this new mission tree over here called the Estados Pontificios, which is kind of the stand-in for the Pope, which is not in Rome anymore. Given that there's no more Pope in Rome, in fact, there's no more Rome at all, the Papacy has been put in Mexico. Really wish I could give you more context on what's going on here, but given I have no information at all, we'll just have to discover things as we go. The Pontifican mission tree is looking healthy, rather large, pretty thick, with branching missions, which I like. Seems the #1 priority is to survive, and then if we can manage to do that, expand and try to make sure all of these potential heretics stay in line. We need to have at least 15 cardinals, and I'm not very good at math here, but it seems on the map we have approximately 7. Maybe. We also need to ally 2 countries, and if one of those is a great power, then we get some extra Diplo rep for 10 years. According to the mission tree, it seems pretty ideal to rival these guys down here, and seeing as these states don't have anything special about them, I'll probably just deal with those and then see if we can get those alliances. Now, for that first golden bull, I would consider maybe getting this one to enable cardinal institution spread. The problem is, I don't actually know where the institution spawns. We do have feudalism, but the Renaissance is, yeah. Apparently it's supposed to spawn in California, and none of these guys are Catholic. Maybe we'll go with Paz Eterna instead. I don't think we have papal influence in this mod. Instead we have this papal authority, and I think we just stay the Pope. Always? Maybe? I'm not sure. What a perfect start. We've already been warned by our neighbor. You know, the neighbor I've been trying to ally. That's just perfect. Well, anyway, seeing as we still need those cardinals, I guess we might as well appoint them, right? I did want to ally this guy, but he doesn't like me so much anymore. Well, maybe I can get them off my back, who knows? Interesting, that also gives us a truce with them for 5 years. Alright, well, they like us now, so that's cool. Now we have our 2 alliances, giving us some permanent claims, having those countries like us a little bit more, and giving us that extra Diplo rep. Kind of funny how this mission mentions the, quote, beastly Waxakans,
Oaxaca.
When, you know, we've just gone ahead and allied them. Now, there isn't really a lot we can do right now. This hug box makes expanding a little bit difficult. Or I could wait another, what is that, 10, 20 years? Yeah, 20 years to attack these guys. On the bright side, the mod runs like really fast. Look at that. Really? They want us to transfer 10% of our trade power and all of our nodes to them. That doesn't really amount to much, so I don't really mind. Only because I need them for the next war, I'll probably say yes. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about needing more cardinals. Well, you know, I don't really have any, so I might as well get one right. Also, that finishes this mission, giving us a little bit more context about why the Catholic Church is apparently waning so much. According to the event, there's a possibility that the papacy was still held in Rome, but had to flee. It's all grown into this one big problem. We could either fix it, or we could just say it's not happening and go down the tradition path. I'm thinking for the sake of seeing what the reform path might give us, we're gonna try it. Now, until I finish this mission right here, a sure compass, we're gonna have some problems. Papal authority is going to decrease for the next few years, and as it does so, the chances of having more breakaway heresies increases, and that's kind of a problem. Apparently this path is going to take a little while to get down though, because we need to have 40 development in Mexico. Right, it might have just been better to do nothing, I don't know. Anyway, the Renaissance is here. Well, what do you know? Apparently we're specifically supposed to get it, so that's cool. Anyway, we are now ready for war, and although we can't attack these guys yet, we still could attack these guys with our allies to help us out. Not quite sure what to do with these dudes down here. Probably just gonna leave them alone for a while. Shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, I should probably check what each of these allies want. Waxaka? Yeah. Waxaka will probably occupy this. That's fine, I'm not gonna take it anyway. I do want all of this though. Alright, next mission. Reaching out to the Espiritismo, which are apparently nominally Catholic. We don't get anything too crazy, just an extra diplomat. It's been a pretty easy war so far. For these guys, I'm probably just gonna make them pay me some war reps and other stuff. I mean, I can't attack them until another 14 years pass anyway, so... And I don't think this is particularly a good idea. Costs extra diplo and it's extra aggressive expansion. Plus I can use a humiliate, so that's cool. As for these guys, I'll just take war reps and money, no problem. And finally a full annex. Alright, that gives us 10 devotion, a little bit more money for the curia, and a slightly cheaper diplomat. Alright, now that we have the Renaissance, I'll just take out a few loans to make sure I can embrace that, which really shouldn't be that much of a problem if I can go and sell it to someone else. Now, by hiring this natural scientist, we can finish this next mission over here. The effects aren't, you know, fantastic or anything, but we do get an additional minus 0.1%. That doesn't seem like very much. Besides, we can't even, like, take ideas yet. Okay, let's wait on that for a little. Now, for this next mission here, it's kind of a problem. I mean, we can't get zero tolerance of heretics very easily, especially when, as Catholic, we get an additional -1. We can get +2 from Humanist, and I think if we take Humanist and Define, we might be able to get some more. It looks like we can get up to +4. I guess maybe that's the only way we can do it. Okay, hold on a second. I just clicked on an event for +1 stability, but I felt it would be a little bit too suspicious to jump up to 3 that quickly, but alright, 2 stab events at the same time. The whole Papal Authority thing doesn't seem to be that bad, I say for now. Until eventually we split off into like 6 different faiths, I don't know. Okay, thankfully we are the new Pope again. Now, I don't particularly feel like spreading the institution. After all, I could just sell it. Oh, you know what? That's a good point. I could probably just take this and humanist ideas and then solve the problem. Then again, I do also want divine ideas because, well, they're just good, so I think that's a good enough justification. And besides, it's not like we can really finish this whole thing. We still need 10 admin tech and 40 development in Mexico, so... Oh, and I didn't even notice actually. Apparently, it says we're going to need to enact a, what is that, tier 7 reform? Tier 8 reform, yes, after the tier 7 reform that we can't enact. Right. Well, let's see how far we can go. Okay, is this really a problem? Yeah, kinda. Oh well. So these guys, our ally in this war that we're currently fighting, are asking us how we're going to split up Anahuac, which is a place, I imagine, and we'll have to see how this works out. It seems like a dynamic system, but I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, what is this? Well, it seems being allied to them is actually a really good idea. If this had popped up earlier with no leverage at all, Oaxaca would have annexed all of my territory outside of the city of Mexico, and I would have become a subject. You can sort of think of it the way that Italy has the Vatican City currently. In other words, the worst possible scenario. If we had 5 leverage, then we could keep the state. If we had only 10 leverage, they would have taken everything outside of Guadalupe. Probably also not good. With 20 leverage, we can agree not to expand into each other's territories, but everything else is fair game. And with 30 leverage, we will allow Oaxaca to conquer the lands of Huastec, but in exchange, they're going to remove all of their other claims in the region, and they're going to give us a province. That seems pretty good. And it looks like we were successful. They gave us 1,000 ducats. We added a truce between us, and we now have a new historical friend. Nice. Although I was kind of expecting a province. I don't know what happened there. I'm gonna quickly use that money to give myself some more cardinals. A little bit of corruption here and there is fine. Now for that first idea group, I did mention picking up divine ideas, mainly because I want to keep expanding, and we should be able to pop this for some slightly cheaper ideas. Okay, it's minus 10%. That makes a lot more sense. I didn't even notice, but apparently there are more missions all the way down here. Cool. Wait, is that cool? For 15 years, we get an extra missionary, 10% morale of armies, and missionary strength versus heretics. But like, against who? There's no one to fight yet. We also get access to the CB Strike Down Heresy, allowing us to convert nations of Sagrado, Cruzite, Vulgar, La Luz, or Vacandus. That's a lot of heresies. Not gonna lie, these events are pretty broken. I mean, 100 admin power for 0.5 papal authority makes it a pretty easy choice. I mean, it would be wrong for me to exploit the cohesion of the religion just for my personal gain, but I wouldn't be a pope if I didn't. Alright, war's over. We can take a little bit of land. The burgers aren't gonna like that, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and rival these guys. I'm also gonna break this dude's alliance with the guy down here. I'm pretty sure that warning is over by now, right? Ooh, not quite. A few more months. Well, either way, it doesn't look like they mind all that much. Well, that's that dealt with. No more men left to fight. I was considering not taking this and waiting a little bit, but then they started to kick my butt, not gonna lie, so it left me with no choice. Alright, I almost forgot. As the Pope, we get pretty much no aggressive expansion. In fact, we're sitting at a total modifier of almost -50, for the fun of it, I guess. We are slightly blocked in and limited by the fact that we don't create infinite admin power, but other than that, this is actually a really solid run. Yoink. That gives us this mission over here for 2 mercantilism and extra manpower in the city we just took, and a little bit of extra trade power. Not sure if that's supposed to be a typo or a pun on the word costal, as in like, you know, Pentecostal, but coastal. Either way, we get glass in this new province, plus 5 barks, 10 navy tradition, and if we own all the provinces in the, I'm not going to try and pronounce that area, we actually do get a center of trade. That's cool. It's extra cool considering we actually do have those provinces. We're now going to get a permanent claim on every province in the Anahuac region, which I'm pretty sure is just this one right here, as long as it's not owned by Oaxaca. It kind of makes me wonder if there are like 5 different paths for each of the possible options in the dealings. We did obviously get like the best one, the one where we don't get annexed and turn into a rump state, but I wonder how those other ones are supposed to play out. Anyways, the rest of these don't actually seem to be that big in terms of missions. Own a little bit of this coast, a couple of these provinces, something over here. They do of course want us to have a lot more in total, but okay. Hey, would you look at that? Now we're the number 8 great power, not bad at all. And if I wanted to, I could try and ultimately fail to invade Huasteca, considering they're allied with Sonora, another large nation, as well as Campeche and Tamaulipas. This country's a little bit weird because I didn't realize for the first little while, but like they're kind of a shogun system in a way. So yeah, fighting these guys is kind of not gonna happen. Alright, here we go again. Do you really need my help with that? Okay. These guys have enough forts. I probably don't need to keep mine maintained. Aw man, don't make me choose like this. Really? I have to rival one of my allies? Oh, come on. Okay, reform number 3. I guess we're gonna go with education of the court for cheaper advisors. Big fan of reduced advisor cost if you can't tell. You know what? It's been a little too peaceful around here. Although this guy just went ahead and allied my biggest rival. Hey, you know what's a lot of fun? When sometimes you're about to declare war on someone and then they immediately go and ally someone much larger. That's great. I really enjoy that. It's a lot of fun. So I have the option of fighting this guy through either this dude or this guy. That's cool. There's of course the additional option of maybe allying this guy. Of course, he doesn't like any of my allies, so he's not going to do that. So in the end, I guess we do nothing. On second thought, maybe I shouldn't have sold these guys the Renaissance. Maybe that was a bad idea. Oh, that just happened. That's a little bit unexpected, not gonna lie. From allies to enemies within literally seconds. You know what? I kind of like this development. Now we can just kind of wait for this whole thing to blow over. Hopefully Sonora doesn't feel like defending these guys, so I can just walk in there. Although it looks like someone's planning to invade anyway. That's kind of weird considering I remember that specific pact that we made together about you specifically not invading these guys. Although maybe they were allowed to have this, I don't know. They do have some claims. Fine, maybe, I guess. I mean, I also have claims here, but you know what, whatever. Before I call anyone in, I'm just gonna make sure I stake a few claims here and there. I think that's a decent idea. Darn it, I keep forgetting. I'm the players, so of course they're gonna abandon the other war to fight me. Yeah, here comes Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
So these guys are gonna invade unopposed. The AI will literally not fight them, but the AI will invade me to keep me from growing strong, while these guys occupy all the land that I want. It's a very effective system. Okay, something happened here. Not sure what. These guys pieced out. Okay, cool. I can work with that. That's not good. Alright, they have surrendered to me, but not to the other guy. That's kind of a problem, because these provinces need to be occupied by me. I can probably be fine with this. Yeah, okay, whatever. Now, for what remains, we get a couple of permaclaims on some areas. Would that happen to be one that I cored? It seems not, so we're fine. We get a little bit of army tradition, a bit of prestige, nothing super fancy or anything. But the big problem is we're gonna have to come back to this guy, who is probably going to end up in a personal union under the vassal Shogun Emperor King dude over here. That is, of course, its own problem, one which might be possibly solvable in 15 years, who knows? In the meantime, we are going to have to fight Potosi, who is allied with Oaxaca.
Oaxaca.
Kind of a problem because I'm going to need these two if I'm going to fight this guy, so we can't quite do that either. Finally, we could take down this guy. We are going to need a second center of trade in the Banjio region. Should be fine. Okay, it's actually not fine. We don't have any. Now the game wants me to rival someone. Please. Not one of my friends. That's painful. I already know who I'm going to kill first, but I would prefer if I didn't have to fight them. You know what? Just for the fun of it, I think I'm gonna go ahead and break this alliance between these two. Unless we can band together, I mean, I would fight this guy. It's gonna be a tenuous alliance for now. Never mind. They realized that our friendship was meaningless, apparently. Cool. Thanks, man. It's not like we've been allied for like 40 years or anything. But, you know, that's cool. Obviously, I'm gonna ask this guy to break his alliance with Potosi, because, you know, we hate that guy now. And once again, we were re-elected Pope. Fantastic. There's still more money to make off of selling the institution, so I'm not going to click on this yet. Probably just gonna continue the same thing so I can reduce my AE as fast as possible. For the second idea group, we're gonna go ahead with humanist, even though I dislike humanist. But it's just for the role play, okay? It's for the role play, it's fine. Now, speaking of humanism and heresy in particular, it seems like someone is planning to make themselves a heretic. In fact, a lot of countries down here are thinking of heresy. That's not okay. We're gonna have to fix that. Man, I can't believe they would do this to me. We might have to go and reteach them the true ways. And can you believe it's been like 2 years that Emperor's been out, and yet we still don't have a little pop-up for when we can click this button? I mean, if we do have one, at least I can't find it. We could have taken Defender of the Faith a long time ago, couldn't we? I don't actually think the Catholics are under attack all that much, so I don't think it's a real problem. Right, well, now that the truce is up, I'm starting to realize this was actually a really good idea. Going our separate ways is possibly the best thing we could have done, because now I don't feel bad at all about stomping them. Plus, they're super easy to stomp. Alright, let's get rid of these rebels real quick and we'll begin the war. So I do need Leon for that mission, right? This one right here? Yeah. I'm also going to need a total of 45 provinces in this region. And I currently have 11, so that gives us a decent opportunity to expand, and really, the more power we have, the better. Seeing as I'm fairly unlikely to continue this game very long, I'll just pop the golden era right now. Well, it's really that bad of a war at all. Doesn't look like we can get nearly as many provinces as we need, but it's better than nothing. Now, the Leonese approach. Apparently, these guys did some really bad things, so we get to decide, are we going to integrate them, which will give us, what is that, 7 years of an extra missionary? Or can we shut them down to give ourselves extra Diplo rep? I think that's a fine idea. Plus, we get admin power, which I need to finish humanism. That's probably not a big deal. So, we're gonna go ahead and make sure we don't have to fight these two at the same time. That would kind of suck. I find it kind of odd at this point that there haven't been more heresies. This one's already a bit much to deal with. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this. But I was promised 5, so like, where are the others? Alright, that's over with. Yoink. Alright, that's another mission. We can accept the Tapatio culture without taking up a promoted slot. That's a pretty nice deal. Then finally, we have the biggest problem to deal with. You know, it might be possible this country's a little bit too strong. This is like if the Pope tried to take over all of Italy in like 40 years. Which, okay, granted, I did do for that one video, but also I almost died at the end of it, so... come on, man. Come on, bro. Alright, here we go again. Oh, it seems this guy's lost his vassal empire. Oh, maybe we can fight him then. Screw it. Yeah, we'll invade them. A new Pope. Was I not elected? I was not elected. Damn it. I got lucky for a while. Can't be that upset. Surprisingly, not that bad a war. Honestly, would have thought that it would have gone a lot worse. Given that they somehow lost all their vassals though, I'm not that surprised. Maybe these guys have a mission tree or something. And that's that. That finishes off this mission for us. And if Kalima's a vassal, they will become more likely to select exploration ideas. Yeah, that's the awkward part, isn't it? Yeah. We're looking at a total of 9 provinces left for us to complete this mission. And once we do, we'll finally be able to fix a little bit of that papal authority problem. Looks like colonialism went ahead and spawned in Japan, as it usually does in this mod. So I'm thinking we could decide to dev the institution somewhere like here maybe. It's not a great place, but it's next to the capital and it's 16 dev, so I'll take it. Well, we've had our fun for a little while. Let's check out the rest of the world. Yeah, the Ohio memes just write themselves. I don't even know what to say. Canada has decided to change names and become Islamic. Here, I'll do a tiny little bit of cheating just so we can see stuff. As a treat. Yeah, Japan hasn't done that much. Ainu is colonizing over here though. Interesting. Greenland exists in one province. Cuba is starting to colonize in Africa. Or, you know, like the other Africa, because apparently this is Africa, so this is Apollonia. Right. Anyway, we finished up humanist ideas. That's going to give us that policy. The extra 2 tolerance of heretics. Although, ironically, we're supposed to apparently go and remove all the heretics. Anyway, besides that, we finished off this mission here. We'll gain 3 papal authority for each ally that is not Catholic, which is weird. You didn't really give me much of an opportunity to ally non-Catholics, because we don't like each other very much. We're also going to get an additional tolerance of heretics for the rest of the game. That's cool. Now, for what I think is going to be the last thing we're going to do today, I'm going to go ahead and invade Potosi again. It's going to be a little bit harder than last time, because they have allies now, but we just need 9 more provinces, so it should be fairly easy. Alright, let's do it. Alright, so far so good. Okay, never mind. Maybe not that good. Well, we got a lot of war score back when he left. Alright, that's something good. Alright, that'll just about do it. We can finish off this mission here, changing our country name to the Kingdom of God. And I think that's where we're gonna put an end to things for today. There's still a lot more you can do in this mission tree. I find some of the parts are a little bit easier than the others. The conquest doesn't have you take a lot, but it does take you pretty far away from home. We could convert Florida or Japan or Brazil all the way down here. But that's not something I have time for today. Nor am I really willing to wait to see if it's even possible to finish this mission. Other than this country, there are plenty to check out, like the last time I played in Japan. Probably something to do in California. They have like a whole thing over here. Definitely a lot of stuff for you to check out yourself if you feel like it. But that's it for me today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like. That would be super appreciated. And if you ended up making it this far, then maybe you should go ahead and subscribe. We're getting pretty close to 50k these days, and that would be great. For now, this is Quarbit signing off, and as always, have a fantastic day. Thanks to the patrons this month. In particular, we have Yeo, Gabriel McCoy, Ben Greenhagen, Quiet Guy, Torvald, Robert Caleno, Ambient Cyan, James Levy, Chewy Shoot, and The Watcher. All patrons get access to videos earlier than normal, and the link is in the description. If you're looking for anything else to watch, I'd recommend these videos up on screen.